So this is the Assay Office. I've never been here before, Ashley.
Yeah, welcome to the Assay Office. We're just going into the production area now, where first of all the staff have to go through a metal detector, and just to protect everybody really, and they have to make sure that when they go through the metal detector they don't activate it. But obviously today, with us carrying metal through, we will activate it when we go through.
At any one time, what's the value of the stuff that you've got in here? Can you even discuss that?
It depends at which time of year. I mean, certainly in the day we're processing quite a lot of high value items through here, but it just depends on each day really. And you know, the other thing about it is because the customers never actually declared to us the value of the pieces, so we don't really know what the value is.
Millions, maybe?
It all depends on a day-to-day basis. I wouldn't like to say really.
Well, this sort of is what I imagine like a gold mine in South Africa is like, because they have to go through metal detectors there, don't they?
Yeah, it probably is. I'm pretty sure that there's metal detectors in a lot of our organisations as well, particularly some of the bullion dealers as well in Birmingham and London. They all have metal detectors as well. I would like to say in my defence here, it's probably ours is probably the cleanest metal detector that you find in any building.
Okay, let's go for it. So what have we got here then? So this is the main hub, presumably, of the Assay Office?
Yeah, so this is the main hallmarking production area that we're in now. It's divided up into sections, from receipt and dispatch to all the various processes, and then at the back of the building there's also our laboratory as well. Right.
So what do you want to look at first?
I think I'll take you through the start of the process really, which is in our receipt and dispatch section. So in receipt and dispatch, this is where all the goods are received. We can either receive items from a customer counter, which may be local jewellers, small manufacturers that will bring items to us, and then
are these all over the country?
Anybody from anywhere in the country can send to Sheffield Assay Office, as they have the option to send to any assay office. You don't have to be registered to one particular office. You can be registered to all 4 assay offices if you want to be. Some people are, because they want to do a collection of 4 items and have one hallmark by each assay office. But in this department here, we have the items will be unpacked and all the contents checked. When somebody sends a parcel to us, we need to check to make sure that everything is there in the parcel that they've declared to us. We have customers that will send us 1 item in, so we might get a one diamond ring coming in for hallmarking, and then some of our larger customers might send 5,000 chains at once, either gold or silver chains, in for hallmarking. So this in this section here, the staff will enter everything into the computer system.
And that's what these ladies are doing here, presumably.
So they're entering all the products in. We take a weight of them and also a count of all the products before they are tested. And then at the end of the process, everything comes back into here, because everything that we check in has to be checked out and has to be accounted for before the parcels leave the building. We also have to be absolutely on the ball in here, because we have to make sure that the person sending 1 gold ring to us gets the 1 gold ring back, and the person that's sending the 5,000 chains gets all his 5,000 chains back.
I've got to ask, have you ever lost anything?
No, I think certainly possibly in our old building years ago.
But not under your stewardship?
Absolutely not. But in this building as well, it is it's very tightly controlled, but everything that we have in place as well means that there's nothing hidden away, there's no real kind of traps to lose things. So we do have an extremely good reputation as well with the trade for not damaging items and not losing items.
Excellent. What are you going to show me next?
Okay, so I think the next thing is that once all the items are checked in, we need to then test the items to make sure that they are in fact up to the standard of metal that we think they are, or that the customer is declaring to us. So we're now going to go to the XRF testing, X-ray fluorescent, and that is where we actually fire a beam at the item to test the purity of the metal.
Right.
So what we can see here is what I can describe really as the machine that we use, the XRF machine. It looks like a bread maker.
Yeah.
The only difference is these machines cost £45,000 each.
A very expensive bread maker.
Yeah, but it can't bake bread. So what these will do is we'll fire a beam into the item and into the article, and it will test through all the wavelengths. It will test the purity of the metal. So what Zach's doing here is he's got an item.
Hi, Zach.
He's got an item in the machine, and he's currently setting it for testing.
So what have you got in there, Zach?
It's a belt buckle.
Oh, right.
It's coming out as copper.
So it's not gold. So would somebody have sent that in thinking that it was gold?
I've actually sent this one in as 925 silver.
Oh, so somebody sent it in as being silver, but you've actually just uncovered the fact that it is actually made out of copper. Wow.
Good timing.
Does this happen a lot?
Quite often, not too often. Just all depends on customer really, reliability rate of the customer and things like that. But not so often.
So essentially, this could have been something that somebody bought bought on an auction or whatever.
Yep.
And then
possibly bought in from overseas as well. We get probably 85% of all the work that is sent in to Sheffield for hallmarking is actually produced overseas, and that comes in at a cost sometimes. Some of the items that come in are not always what we think they are, or in terms of or what the customer thinks they are either.
So this is actually why it's the law, isn't it, that certain metals have to be hallmarked, and it's actually the law, and you can see why. So somebody's probably bought that in good faith.
Yep.
Been told it was silver, and it's coming out as copper. What's the price difference? If that was made out of silver versus copper, what would the price difference?
Silver at this moment in time is sky high as well. So, something like that that would probably in silver gold plated would probably be retailing for £200 or £300, and the value of that is probably less than £10.
Wow.
So it's a big difference.
Wow.
So with this parcel anyway, what Zach will do is he'll check every single item in here. It raises his suspicions when he's found a piece that is purported to be gold-plated silver, and it isn't. So he'll now go through and test everything else in the parcel.
How long does it take to test How long will it take to test that?
Just one item, each component. So we'll do the fastener, jump ring, and a few components. If all the items are the same, you don't have to do every single one, but try and do as many different variations and styles as possible.
Wow. What we'll find is that we have certain customers that are, a lot of customers are really high-end jewellery, and we very, very rarely ever find anything wrong with it. So you can take a different view on those items when we test them to some other people where they have a history in the system as well, where we get items that fail regularly. So we do tend to take a separate approach on those people as well, and really look at them in a different way. But on this parcel here, it looks like every single item will be tested to make sure that we can cover it before they're hallmarked.
So how are these coming out, Zach? Are these?
Yeah, these are fine. These are 925 silver.
So not everything then, okay. Interesting. Well, you can see why, actually. Well, I can now see why. Hallmarking is actually pretty important, because if you're going to go to a jewellery shop and you're buying something that you think's made out of silver and it's made out of copper, and there's a 90% price difference, I mean, wow.
It's vital. So if you look at the items that we're testing here, these are Asian 22 carat jewellery. So wedding sets, a lot of these articles are handmade in India.
Okay.
So we're testing these. These are all looking okay.
So that actually is gold then.
So these are gold. So yeah, there's a bag here of assorted chains and bracelets in 22 karat gold. It's very rich jewellery. It's
because a lot of this would be used in weddings and things, won't it?
Yeah.
It's the Indian weddings. And
the purity of this is 91.6% pure. That's why it's very rich in colour. It's also very soft.
Is gold more expensive the more pure it is? Is that how it works?
Yeah, it is, yeah. So the main kind of I would say the normal in the UK tends to be 9 karat gold.
Okay.
That's kind of like the most common metal, which is 37.5% pure. And then you have 14 karat, which tends to be more of the foreign standards that come into the UK. 18 karat gold, which is more fine jewellery, carrying maybe a lot more diamonds in the items. And then we have platinum and palladium, which are white metals. So the hallmarking act covers gold, silver, platinum and palladium.
Wow. In the old days, how did they used to, before you had this laser technology, how did they used to test it? They used to take samples or something?
So on the methods these days, an XRF test will take 10 seconds for us to evaluate the purity of an article. In the olden days, well, I say the olden days, when I first started out here, all the gold tests were done by a method called cupellation, and that was a refining process in a furnace, and that would take 2.5 hours. But it would also mean that it was a destructive test. So on many items, we actually physically had to take articles out of a batch of gold earrings and cut them up and destroy them, so they would get half a pair of earrings back. So it was quite. It was on some items as well. We'd cut a chain up and destroy it completely in order to test all the components on it.
Wow.
So, but that was the norm in those days, and it was accepted. But it was very expensive. But these days it's so much different with the non-destructive testing that we do.
Right, where we're going next?
Once we've tested the articles and we're happy with the purity of the metal, they can then receive a hallmark. So my production managers will then distribute the items out. There are 3 ways that we can apply the hallmark. There'll be a traditional way, which is a hammer and a punch, which will strike onto the item. There is press marking, which tends to be more for chain work, earrings, and then we also have laser technology. So that will be used for more intricate items, hollow items, highly finished items. And what I can show you here is Georgina, which she's applying the hallmark. What you have here is you have on a computer image of the hallmark, and then that is burnt into the item, 4,000 degrees, very localized laser mark that will apply the mark to the item. We use a very high-tech method of holding the item and supporting it when we apply the hallmark, and that is blue tack.
So that's the hallmark on that screen over there, is that right?
Yeah.
So what are the components of a hallmark? Just describe what that actually is.
So we've got JJazz, which is the sponsor's mark on this item, which is the manufacturer or the importer of the items. And then we've got the 925, which is the purity for sterling silver.
What does 925 actually mean then?
925 is 925 parts per thousand pure silver.
Right, okay.
In the item, 92.5%.
Yep.
And then we have the rose, which is the town mark for Sheffield. It's actually the Tudor rose.
What are those scales there?
So on this item as well, this carries an additional mark, which is the convention mark, and this is a mark that is agreed between 22 countries, and we all operate similar systems, and that mark is recognisable across those countries. It kind of started out with countries like Switzerland, so all the watches coming into the UK will have a convention mark on them, meaning that those articles do not need to pass through an assay office, which, to be fair, is quite a relief when you've got a £60,000 Rolex watch coming in, and that we don't have to actually strip it apart, test it, and put the hallmark on it. Swiss system's extremely good, and there's quite a few other countries around Europe that have the convention mark, for instance, like Portugal, Cyprus. So as you can see on this item here, the mark takes roughly about a second to apply.
Wow.
By laser.
I started about a year ago, actually. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I didn't start off on laser. Probably been laser about 6 months, maybe. Yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Excellent.
She's brilliant. She's really skilled as well with it. we let her loose on all the real high-end, high-value items that we get in as well. I'm pretty sure she tries most of them on as well while she's marking them. Perk of the job.
Thank you.
Yeah, although they look a little bit different, some of these machines, they're just different versions of the same kind of technology. The difference with the marks on these articles is that this has got a 950 on it, and this is 95%. And in the shield that this is telling me that it's platinum that Steve's hallmarking here.
Wow. Neat.
And again, just a
ring
second.
or an earring or...
Yeah. What? No. What marking? Rings. Yeah, he's marking rings.
Yeah.
Steve's one of my more experienced markers with over 25 years service. I've got some articles here that have been hallmarked by press marking. So with these items, all the information, the hallmark is on a punch, and this will be pressed into the item. So again, every single chain here will be marked. These are 9-carat white gold.
That seems quite stressful, actually. I mean, God,
it's very intricate, but there's a little marking plate on the chain that you can see, and that's where all the information will be applied.
What do you do if you miss?
He doesn't miss.
This looks a very old...
These presses
machine.
are, you know, this method is kind of been around for years, and you also see like the fly presses over there. They're still the best kind of press to apply hallmarks to rings, and so you know this is old traditional technology. And that
how old will this be? Do you think?
I think the fly presses that we've got over there are kind of probably from the 1930s,
wow.
1940s. Yeah. And some of the items that we've got here, some of the support tooling that we have, originated from Chester Assay Office that closed down in the 1960s.
How many assay offices are there now?
So there's currently 4 assay offices in the UK. There is London, Birmingham, Sheffield, and Edinburgh.
Right.
But there have been many, many more over the years. But each assay office is a commercial, independent, privately owned organisation. We uphold a government act to Parliament, but we're all in competition with each other. And we all charge for the...
And is it? Are you for profit or is it not for profit, or how does it?
We are non-profit dispersing. So
right.
Any profit that we do make, there are no shareholders, there are no directors. So any money that we do make gets ploughed back and reinvested in the business. We've got we've got the machines there, which are £45,000 each. The laser machines, 30,000.
Yeah.
We've got high tech machines in the laboratory, which we've just purchased a new ICP machine, which was £150,000.
Wow.
So you know all that kind of thing. With the money that we make, we do reinvest it in the equipment and the staff, of course, as well.
Right. Where next?
So, on the hallmarking process, there is unfortunately there's nothing that can be hallmarked today by hand. But you can see some of the punches that we have here. This is the information, which is on that's quite a large mark. That would go on to something like maybe a silver salver or something like that, or a tankard. There are individual marks as well, so they become part of a design of an item as well. So 925, different sizes.
Wow.
We've got the lion for sterling silver.
And these are obviously very old as well, aren't they?
Some of the, I mean, a lot of these, because they're not used very often, they don't age at all.
Yeah.
But the one mark that does change is the date letter, which changes every year. So we're currently on date letter A, and it's a 25-year cycle. We usually tend to miss out either an I or a J. Each assay office has exactly the same date letter. It didn't used to, but they were all standardised in 1975.
Are they tests, are they?
Yeah, so they've just. It's possibly some of where we've actually been training some staff as well.
Right, okay.
So they've been having a go on some silver sheet.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're on say date letter A this year.
So you also melt. You do smelting.
Yeah. So when in terms of the process here, this is kind of where it comes to a finish. I have my production managers, Amy and Jordan, and they will check all the articles when they've been finished. They'll make sure that they're happy with the hallmarks and the quality of them and just check the accuracy of everything. And they will sign those off, and then they'll go back to receipt and dispatch, packed and dispatched. On a busy day, if we're looking at October, November, when we're trying to get everything out for the Christmas period, we can hallmark anything up to 7,500 items a day through here.
Wow. Well, you can see, because it only takes a second on the laser marking now.
Yeah,
Obviously the manual process that we looked at earlier, can probably do a lot less than both.
Some are slow, and it depends as well. If you've got some of the high value items coming in, from the Bond Street jewellers, of which we get an awful lot of those in Sheffield, they take a bit longer to do. We have to be a lot more careful, the packaging, the way that we handle them. So that's kind of the hallmarking process finished. We also have a very comprehensive laboratory, which is basically capable of testing every single metal in the periodic table.
Wow. What was surprised me is the first time I've been here. I've known you for a long time, but it's the first time I've ever been in here. Is the impact that technology is actually having on your industry, which was, in my mind, I thought it was going to be more like this stuff, hammers but to see all these laser testing machines and laser marking machines and so on, it's
all great technology going forward, but there's one thing that, and we have looked at it, but there's one thing that we've still not been able to achieve, and that's automation.
Yeah.
Because of the variety of the products that we deal with and the value of the items, we've not managed to do that, and so I'm guessing the staff here will say thank goodness, because we use people to do the job, and with the skill that the staff have got here, you just can't rival that at all.
Do you think, obviously with the advent of artificial intelligence and robotics, and Tesla are bringing out this new robot soon that can do various things, do you think you'll ever see full automation in this industry?
I think you'll see some automation, and I think AI will play a role certainly in that, but I just think there is no replacement for that visual test on a piece, and also holding something and feeling it and thinking that doesn't kind of quite feel right.
Yeah.
We've got examples of pieces here where people have tried to heavily gold plate something when it's got base metal inside it, and sometimes that the trained member of staff here will say this doesn't feel right. And
I was going to ask, is some of this deliberate? I mean, obviously, the bottle that we saw earlier, that might have just purchased it and then tried to. But do you think that you get pieces where they're trying to scam the system?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there are. It's not a lot, but there are pieces that come in that clearly have been made to scam the system. And if we hadn't detected it, we've got items here that would probably be worth, I don't know, £500 that we detect and find that they've been concealed with silver inside them. So again, you've got something that might be worth £30, that they were hoping they could get a 22 carat hallmark on it or a 18 carat hallmark on it, sell it as 18 carat, and we've been tricked.
If you had to guess, because there are all sorts of different assay offices, as you mentioned earlier, how many items out there do you think are being sold as, in this example, gold, but really a silver lined with gold? Do you think there are many?
There are a lot of items out there that are not passing through assay offices at this moment in time. We have big issues with eBay, Amazon, Etsy, all these marketplace. And we're in the middle of a case at the moment where we've done a test purchase of something. It's been described as sterling silver bracelets. We've had the items in here, we've tested them, and they're all base metal.
Wow.
And they are advertising them online, and people are buying them online thinking it's sterling silver, and they're not. And we've just done a test purchase ourselves on something, and we've had it tested, so we shall be looking at the next steps.
It's almost like there should be legislation that when you're buying something, if it's not being hallmarked, it needs to be clearly delineated as not being hallmarked, because because the chances of you being ripped off are enormous, aren't they?
They're breaking the law, and unfortunately, people that with the best will in the world, you find something online, and unfortunately, if you think that you've purchased something and you think it's a bargain, I don't think it is.
If it's too good to be true. Yeah,
it is too good to be true, and you are getting ripped off, and there are a lot of pieces out there. There's a big case going through at the moment through court, where we've caught somebody basically assembling items supposedly as a precious metal, and they're not, and they're just clearly marking them up, saying that they're 9 carat gold, sterling silver, and they're not, and they're selling them online. And people are parting with good money, thinking they've got something that's worth a fortune, and they're not. Wow. So you must look for the hallmarks on products. Go to some reputable jewellers as well. There's plenty out there, and buy the piece with the comfort that you've got the hallmark on it, which tells you exactly what the item is. But if you want to buy something cheap online, you take your chances. So in this department, as part of the additional services that we offer is a melting assay service. So in the furnace room here we have...
And by the way, it's very hot in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We have furnaces that are capable of melting up to 12.5 kilos in that furnace, and then the smaller induction furnace, which will melt a couple of kilos, but up to 1800 degrees, so it will melt. In that one, it'll melt platinum, which is a much higher melting point. But anybody can send parcels to us, so we get pawnbrokers, we get bullion dealers, and they will send parcels to us, mixture of scrap metal. We melt it all down, pour it into bars, and then we'll issue an assay report on those so that it can be sold to any bullion dealer. And with the price of gold and silver being so high at the moment, record highs, this department's really busy.
So, if
you want to have a look in there?
Let me just. So what's he just done there? Ashley, he's just thrown in a
teapot.
He's thrown in a teapot.
Yeah, I'd say we're getting a lot of different types. It's like silver, like antiques, dishes, teapots, silverware, quite a lot of cutlery and stuff. Or it's usually silver jewellery or gold jewellery or dental scrap. But yeah, like I say,
it's just the problem with it is now it's just worth more as scrap than it was as an actual article.
Yeah, I suppose because commodity prices are sky high at the moment, gold, silver, etc.
Does anybody really want, a silver candelabra? And if they don't, then
obviously you can tell they've been handed down because it's got someone's repetitive names, family names all the way down from the granddads across country from back in 1904, and they've got a big silver dish for it.
It's really sad. There's a lot of the history is literally being melted down.
Wow. So we're going to talk about this later, actually, but when the Brinks-Mac gold came here, it would have gone
something very similar to this, and it's something very similar to this that would have been used for melting it down in John Palmer's garden.
Oh, goodness me. So,
Probably without the extraction that we've got though, and the and all the helmets and everything that are associated with when we pour things out here.
so how long will that teapot take to melt down then?
Well, it's been on now already.
It's gone already. It's
got
seconds.
About 10 kilos silver molten in there now, so well, it's.
This is
30
also
minutes, it's not
this,
long at all.
when you've got something at 1200 degrees, it doesn't take long to disappear.
And so what have we got here then?
So this is a bar that's been produced here. So as a result of all the scrap being melted down, there is about 4 kilos there, which is probably £80,000 roughly.
£80,000, and that's just all from scrap from.
Yeah.
I think it might be close to like 40% gold.
Yeah.
So maybe,
Maybe a bit more, might be more expensive. Yeah.
So what was that before it was a bar of gold then? What?
Scrap, rings, broken, everything broken. And everybody advertises and say, "Can we have some? We'll buy all your broken jewellery."
I mean, that's actually what the Brinksmat gold you'd have turned it into, isn't it?
But bigger bars, yeah.
Bigger bars. What size were they?
12.5 kilos.
Oh God.
like golden 2p coins, was it?
Bits of copper metal, all that stuff.
Copper.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much.